Good evening, I'm Katerina Georgieva. This is CBC Windsor News. Thanks for watching. Tonight we look at a new pilot project doing outreach to people who panhandle. A town hall meeting to discuss the mission. We'll hear from those in attendance later in the program. New details on the mega hospital. It's still many years away, but we're learning more about what it will look like. And it is International Women's Day. We'll take a look at local supports and inspiring women. Let's start with the new pilot project. One Windsor police officer alongside a mental health worker. That's the new team that will be out for the next month, approaching people who panhandle. Police say it's a way to address some concerns around aggressive panhandling, but it's also a partnership with Family Services Windsor Essex. They tell CBC's Jason Vio it's to help connect those asking for money or food on the streets with the supports they need.
Tell me a little bit about what exactly is going on in the city of Windsor right now in relation to focusing on aggressive panhandling.
So it is a community response between Windsor Police Services and Family Services Windsor Essex, where we go out and we engage with folks that are currently panhandling, and we're really looking at people that are doing panhandling in unsafe ways, like standing in the middle of traffic, approaching moving vehicles, standing in a median. It's really coming from a safety perspective. We really want to ensure nobody gets hurt, but we're also really trying to link people to services that they really need. So that could be a mental health referral, that could be addiction supports, food security, ensuring people are added to the by names prioritized list that the City of Windsor coordinates, to give people a chance at having services offered that fit them and that can really help them move forward with whatever goals they're setting.
And this was framed as aggressive panhandling kind of thing. How much is it about that versus helping the people that you find?
I think it's more so about linking people to services that they need in order to hopefully alleviate their need to have to do panhandling in an aggressive manner. What can we link them to that helps the ball move forward? Is it food security? Is it getting them permanent stable housing, a mental health referral, getting them into a recovery program? Whatever they so need, we want to make sure that they have the opportunity to get that linkage happening.
And how big of a problem is aggressive panhandling in our region, or just panhandling in general?
I think panhandling is a problem in any downtown core, to be frank. I think people deal with it anywhere that poverty levels are high, and we're seeing that across the province, across the country, with interest rates and inflation impacting people. So I really believe that people that are conducting aggressive panhandling are in the minority. I think it's only a few people.
You said this is not panhandling. What would you call it?
This is asking for help, yes. Panhandling to me is going on, well, we have one guy in the middle of a light. He yells and swears at people, and he's in the middle of the street. I'm here usually quiet with my sign. People could help or they don't have to help. I'm not putting a gun to their head and say, help me. It's up to them. So not panhandling whatsoever. You could call it that if you want, but it's not.
And what really prompted this initiative to start in the first place? I
think in general, there was, some complaints from constituents throughout our areas that are, trying to access businesses, people that are getting their cars approached while they're in the middle of an intersection. I think that just in general, the people of Windsor Essex were seeing the risk and also unsure on how to react. And so Windsor Police Services recognize they need to do something, and partnering with Family Services Windsor Essex in a way that is going to go at people in a compassionate way to ensure that we really get people the help they need is how we resulted in this kind of intervention.
Art Varley says that he has a place to live and food to eat, but he's just struggling to repay $20,000 in CERB that he owes. Varley told us that he applied for too much and needs to pay it back. Now, this new initiative has also been prompted by local politicians. In January, Councillor Fred Francis asked administration to create a bylaw to reduce aggressive panhandling. But the city's lawyer said something like that mirrors provincial legislation that already exists. Windsor Police did not respond to CBC's request for an interview, and the city has not told us how many warnings or fines have been handed out to aggressive panhandlers. Dozens of people gathered to complain about the downtown mission last night. We've been reporting on some of those problems this week, but this town hall focused on solutions. Jill Molnar now on what was said and what's next.
I'm new to outreach as of like 2.5 years ago, but I will agree that it is not a safe neighborhood.
One by one, residents and those involved in the downtown area recounted their experiences with drug use, garbage, and assaults being caused by people since the downtown mission consolidated its services at the Rolette Avenue location last June.
2 weeks ago, I was assaulted by a person that was trying to break into my wife's car.
You can't put a shelter that's accepting people who, for lack of better words, don't want to follow the law and don't want to respect a neighborhood right across the street from people's homes.
Some people suggested moving the mission to the Waterworld temporary homelessness hub. Others want more policing and arrests of drug dealers. But police say there's only so much they can do.
They're going to court, they're being released with no charges, or those people that have been to court several times are not receiving any type of sentencing that really reflects the severity of what the issue really is.
The executive director of the mission hopes some short-term solutions can be found.
This was a good opportunity to get some feedback from the neighbors, the community members, and also Ronaldo Agostino, our counselor, of course, to start the process of what can we do. So fencing was mentioned, lighting was mentioned. I know garbage bins has been a thing that we've talked about in the past too.
What's going to happen real quickly is I'm going to report to my fellow councilors and let them know how tonight went. I'm going to report to the mayor and let him know how tonight went, and I'm going to share the information with people and really start spreading the word that there's solutions out there and that there's angry people out there. But the most important thing is that all these people in this room tonight want to work together to find an answer.
I think it's a first step. I hope something comes of it. I'm cautiously hopeful.
The consensus at this meeting was that the mission needs to move to a new permanent location. It has to do some fundraising before that can happen, and they also want to move to a location that will be near the new homelessness hub. The deadline for submissions for locations for that wrapped up last month, but it's not clear when City Council can make a decision on where that will go. Dale Molnar, CBC News, Windsor.
Meanwhile, the homelessness hub in the county is busier than expected. The Leamington Center has seen 167 people since September. Staff say that's exceeded expectations. Right now, the center is only a pilot project. A person who used the hub said this proves how big of a problem homelessness is in the county. You can find more on this story on our website, cbc.ca/Windsor. And we've got new details about the massive acute care hospital that's in the works. The new building will have 2 million square feet of hospital services. To compare, the Met and Olette campuses combined for 1.3 million square feet. All the patient rooms at the new hospital can be made private. That's something that should help infection control, according to officials. It'll be a 9-story building with a focus on natural light. Now, we're still a bit away from the project actually being built. Construction is expected to start in 2026. The province's financial watchdog presenting a worrying picture of the future of healthcare in Ontario today. The Financial Accountability Office says the shortage of nurses and personal support workers in Ontario will likely last for years, and the province is decades behind when it comes to planning for an aging population. Lorinda Redekop has the details.
The Financial Accountability Officer projects the shortage of personal support workers will triple to 30,000 by 2027. The shortage of nurses will improve, but only somewhat. Right now, the report found more hospital patients than ever are being treated in hallways. And the FAO expects capacity issues in hospitals and long-term care homes will worsen, even with extra investments by the province.
You can build the bed, but if you don't have the staff and you don't have the equipment and you don't have the supplies and you don't have the heating and all that sort of thing, that bed's going to sit empty.
The watchdog says it's in part due to an aging population and should have been prepared for decades. The FAO says even the government's plans to add 4,500 more hospital beds won't be enough. They'll be short 500. The financial watchdog also says there's a spending shortfall in health of $21 billion over 6 years. However, the recent deal with the federal government added $10 billion.
The FAO, they only take a snapshot in time.
The Premier gave the same response his government always provides following a report by this office, but also called on the federal government to do more. The Health Ministry says the issues raised in this report are why it's making changes to health care.
We're pouring money into the healthcare system. We gave the nurses a $5,000 bonus last year. We gave the PSWs a $3 increase. So we're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at healthcare.
The opposition parties dispute that.
The steps they've taken are absolutely tiny. They're not, the way I look at it is, it's a drop in a bucket that's leaking like no get out, right?
The report also looked at emergency rooms, finding length of stay increased to more than 20 hours on average. And it totaled how many ERs were forced to temporarily close over the past year.
145 emergency room closures. If that's not a bunch of canaries in a coal mine, I don't know what is.
The Financial Accountability Officer didn't offer any solutions. He says that's not his role. He's interested to see whether the issues he's raising will be addressed in the budget. It comes out later this month. Lorenda Redicomp, CBC News, Toronto.
Justin Trudeau faced another tough day of questioning after a new report by Global News on Chinese interference in Canadian elections.
Recent reports indicate that at least 2 times the Prime Minister was advised that Chinese government officials transferred money to Canadian political candidates. This is serious, and Canadians start to wonder why it seems like the Prime Minister is hiding something. So why does the Prime Minister just launch a public inquiry and answer all those questions and give confidence to Canadians in our democracy?
Here, here, here.
Honorable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm happy, first of all, to repeat that we have no information on federal candidates receiving money from China.
Trudeau said earlier this week he'll appoint what he calls a special rapporteur to look at the allegations. Today is International Women's Day, and the celebration of female resilience and strength was on full display at W5, the Windsor Women Working with Immigrant Women organization.
We are women. We are strong. We are powerful.
This is what W5 is all about. Immigrant and refugee women coming together to support and be supported.
It takes a whole village to help a newcomer.
Olivia Brizanou first came to Windsor 20 years ago. W5 helped her then. Now, she leads the charge.
I understand how difficult when you come to a new country when you don't speak their language to begin with. So it's important for us to understand their challenges and understand every day my work is not only just for salary, but for something more meaningful and also beneficial for the community.
For 42 years, the not-for-profit has supported newcomers with programs like language lessons and job searches. Today, it launches a new program, a virtual reality career exploration program. Using VR goggles, they can experience 26 different jobs, like what it's like to be a registered nurse, a way to help newcomers consider their options so that the organization can help get them there. But today is mostly about community. Other local organizations set up booths, there were speakers and workshops.
I like it.
For newcomers like Jishu Liu, this place is a comfort.
他们拥有着幸福、快乐、简单和健康。我非常的热爱这个地方。
She said that she feels very happy, and also the environment is very warm. And with the women surrounding her, she felt that the whole environment is filled with simply love.
How does this community inspire you?
It really inspires me, the support that I see here. I see a lot of love from all of the women, and just pure support, motivation. And I'm, let's say, like I'm a lot younger as a mental wellness counselor here at W5, but I'm always learning from the clients as much as they are learning from me too.
In our organization, majority of our staff were born outside of Canada. They used to have, they used to be the expertise in other field, but after they have the immigration experience, now they grow passion to help other people with settlement, with employment, with skill training, and we want to help other newcomers to be successful and being a fully participating member of the society.
Let's take a live look outside there. The sun setting over our city, that beautiful glow. Now it doesn't look like it from that view, but we do have more snow coming later this week. I hate to be the one to tell you. Colette will be here in a few minutes and she'll talk us through it. Stay with us. This International Women's Day, it's a good time to reflect on women who inspire you. I stopped by the University of Windsor today and heard from many about the women who raised them up.
I would say all the women in my family, my mom, sister, aunts, cousins, they're all just amazing women who make me feel like I can do anything.
My mom, and I know people will say it's a cliche, but that woman is absolutely amazing, selfless to everybody, not just her family. And then my daughter, my oldest daughter, Celesta, goes above and beyond for everybody, especially me.
I think the woman who inspires me the most is probably my mom. She's just so supportive, and everything she does, she's so confident and passionate, and she cares so much about other people. She's very empathetic.
How has she shaped you into the woman you are today?
I think she's partly made me extremely sensitive, but that's a good thing, and she's taught me just how to be respectful of other people and really take the time to understand where other people are at.
One of them would be my grandma. She was a very caring person and kind of always looked out for everybody in the family. Made sure, you know, if you were short on money, would help you. If you had needed like a lunch or dinner, she's always filling our stomachs.
Tell me about a woman in your life who inspires you.
My mom inspires me because she's very strong. She works hard, and so I look up to her. Yeah.
What is it about your mom? How has she shaped you into the person you are today?
A lot of disciplining because I was very stubborn. But she goes out of her way to do the best for me and my siblings, and I see that, so I want to do the best in everything I do as well.
It have to be my mother-in-law. I met her, I started dating my husband when I was very young, going to university here actually, and she quickly took me in, and she's taught me so many things, and she is a single mom that's raised 2 kids. Something that she always taught me was to not let like a no stand in the way of my dreams.
So I have a really wonderful aunt. She inspires me every day to better myself. She constantly teaches me to work harder, to improve yourself, to never give up, and to constantly push yourself to the next thing.
I'm truly inspired by my mom, honestly. She is a hero to me. She is an immigrant who's worked really hard to, you know, provide for me and my siblings. And she's a really, really hard worker, and she just inspires me every day, and she's so supportive, and I just love her so much.
Now, from hearing about all those inspiring women, we're going to another inspirational woman, Colette Kennedy, here to talk about weather. Colette, we have snow on the way. How is it even possible?
We do, and by the way, right back at you there, Katerina. Yeah, we do. So I don't want to bury the lead. Well, not the weather lead anyway. So we'll start with this. I have some other information, but we'll get to that in just a minute here. So we are looking at a special weather statement. This may get upgraded to a snowfall warning. We'll kind of see how it goes. Winter storm warnings tend to be when there's wind associated, and we're going to have some of that too blowing this around. So this is as we're headed into Friday. It's interesting. Jason asked me yesterday, is there going to be enough to go sledding? And I was like, well, at that point, the models weren't even putting all this here. So yeah, there will be 10 to 15 centimeters, those winds blowing. Again, the timing here, it's going to be early Friday moving in and then kind of through the day and then moving out by Friday evening. I know March break in there too, so a lot going on. These are your current temperatures to just have a look, still holding there at 3 degrees for Windsor. Those winds out of the north, I mean, this ridge of high pressure is great because it kind of protects us, but it's also been driving those winds from the north to northwest and giving us a cooler feel. Overnight temperatures tonight, this is an idea of where we're headed with those readings. We may go down to even -5. We'll kind of see here, but I've got us at -4 for the forecast. There's that ridge, means the clearer conditions, and we get to have some of that sunshine during the day. But then the clouds increasing as we go into Thursday, at times anyway, so it becomes more variable with our sky conditions. And then as we go forward in time, I'm stopping this. This is 3 a.m. Friday. So overnight Thursday into early Friday morning, the roads will be slick on Friday morning from the snowfall, at times a bit heavier, and certainly with the winds blowing it around. Now this is 7 p.m. and we're mostly just seeing some light snow or even just some flurries that are left behind. So the models at this time, keeping in mind this is still a couple days away, so I'll keep fine tuning this, but we're putting it right in around that 15 centimeters. And Sarnia, stop the presses there. It's more like perhaps 20 centimeters or more. It may be inflating things a little bit, so I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. Those winds, though, they are going to get strong, especially along the shores here of Lake Erie, and those kind of push through. We'll find that happening even out ahead of the actual snow, so the winds will pick up before the snow even has a chance to get here. So let's take a moment here and just get you through your 5-day forecast. So 5 degrees. And we're looking at mostly cloudy, but really it's more variable. At times there'll be more sun for Thursday. And then we get the system coming in. You see that with the temperatures, why it's snow this time and not a mix. And then on the weekend, just that reminder to put that clock forward when you go to bed on Saturday. I said earlier in the segment that, I didn't want to bury the lead, and I wasn't the weather lead, but there's another really important thing going on today. It's Katerina's birthday. And here at CBC, Kat, we do not spare any expense. We all chipped in
Oh
and
my
got you
goodness.
something. Here, we want to wish you a happy birthday. You thought I was wearing this jazzy blazer because of International Women's Day. It's for you for your birthday.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Colette, and thank you everybody. And I'm just gonna show off these amazing cupcakes that everybody brought me. I'm gonna cry. Oh my God.
We love you, Katerina.
Thank you so much. I love you guys as
Of
well.
course.
Thanks,
Happy
Colette.
birthday.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm very touched. I don't know what else to do other than throw it a break. Cricket is one of the world's most popular sports, and many of its fans are women. And now they have something else to cheer about, as India starts the first female professional league. More from the CBC's Salima Shivji.
I'm at this giant stadium here in Mumbai, where it is the first match of a brand new league here in India, women's cricket, and the excitement among fans is palpable.
It's very special because first time it's women are playing IPL.
Wherever the women's team go, they are really, people are backing them.
Ecstatic, in disbelief, very proud. We're actually very, very lucky to be a generation to be witnessing this kind, because We know so many sportswomen who fought for this.
It's been called a game changer for the sport, for the female players and for fans. And it's already one of the most lucrative women's leagues in the world. And that's before the first ball was even bowled. Because of selling of the team franchises as well as the sale of media rights, this league is making a whole lot of money, but it's also causing a lot of young female cricket players to dream big.
Our own inspiration playing in front of us, and it makes us feel so good that we even ourselves are going to play once.
It will promote more young kids towards the sport, and will get there is a platform for women's cricket.
The 5 teams have a tight playing window, only 3 weeks, but weeks where everyone will be watching to see how well this league does and whether it will become a model for other cricket-mad countries to follow. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Mumbai.
That is it for CBC Windsor News. Happy International Women's Day. And I'm just going to say, in Bulgaria, International Women's Day is also Mother's Day. So to my mom and to all the Bulgarian mamas out there, Честит 8 март. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.